Hey, Shalom, Israel. Hey, listen, man. Priest Officer Shabal of ISUBK Las Vegas under Commander General Yohanan out here in Arizona, man. Listen, can't come to Arizona, man, without coming to the Arizona school. You understand? And I had to take advantage of this opportunity to come into this glorious building, man, to sit with these glorious men. You understand? And at my left-hand side is none other than Priest and Officer Paraqs. You understand? And this is my main man right here. This brother right here, man, I remember him when we used to had a class at the library. He was a young man at that time. And I would come out here, man, I would teach these classes. And after, man, we would always just hang out, man, and just, you know, have a good time. And the brother would always bring his family, man. And that right there, him bringing his family just goes to show you how dedicated this brother is to serving the Lord. You get my point? So I just want to take a couple minutes out this brother's time, man, and just shoot the shit with him, man, and just catch up with this brother, man, and see how he been doing. You know what I mean? So the first thing I want to ask you is, what are your thoughts on where you were when you first came in versus where you are today?
Oh man, listen. Well, for one, Barack, I thought y'all while y'all was shy that I came in here in the first place. Like coming into the ISUBK, people don't really realize that coming into the truth actually saves your life. Like it's not a metaphor. It's not a figure of speech. Coming in here saves your life. So if I could, just to go a little bit further, before I came into the truth, I was a dead man walking. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like life outside of the truth is dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous. Like if I could, we just did the Sabbath service today, and we talked about the fact that when you serve the Most High, you're protected. When you're not, you're cursed. That's a terrible thing, man. And I was absolutely destroyed in the world. I came in here. I'll never forget it. December 4th of 2019, I came in here. I'll never forget the date. And I came in here, man, and when I came into the truth, it was just a couple of brothers in the library. That was it. And for the average cat, they see that and they're like, oh, these brothers ain't, what are they doing? They wasting their time up here in the library. But for me, understanding what, like when these brothers brought out the scriptures, man, shout out to Officer Apayar. When he started breaking down these scriptures to me, yeah, absolutely. Like when he started breaking down these scriptures, I was like, this is it. And he wasn't no punk. Like it wasn't like I was at the Christian church.
Right.
Like at the Christian church, they break down a half of scripture and then sing. Right. But coming in here and really understanding the scriptures because they've been broken down to me properly, I was like, listen, this is it. Coming into the truth as a young man, it is challenging. You know what I'm saying? It's challenging to come in here as a young man because you're still battling those demons that you have from out in the world. You get what I'm saying? You're still, you might be, this wasn't my case, but you might be battling a baby mama or whatever the case, right? Point being is, these brothers in the ISUBK help you to battle those demons.
Right.
You don't get that nowhere else. And so, just to, not to be too long-winded, these brothers helped me battle the demons that I had, and now it's been, it's going on 2 years now, and the change is tremendous. I've got my household in order, which is something that a lot of brothers can't say. I'm saying brothers in the world. A lot of brothers in the world don't have their household in order. Why? Because they don't understand order. When you don't understand order, you don't understand how to have your household in order. You don't understand how to, react to certain situations. Man, listen, since I came in here, I got my household in order. I stopped, all that, getting high and doing the things that I was in the world. Like if I could quote a scripture real quick,
please.
Like Paul said this. He said, when I was a child, I spake as a child, right? But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
That's right.
And so from a young man in the truth to becoming a trooper to an officer, you start to put away those childish things.
Right.
It's such a beautiful thing. So that's how I would say that transition goes. So I like to talk. You know what I mean?
And listen, that's one thing that we got in common. I think that's why we get along so good.
Oh, sorry,
you know what I mean? And the thing is, if I can piggyback off of everything that you're saying, I believe everybody has that similar story.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when I first came in, right, I first went in the library, you know what I'm saying? Came to the door hard, right? And I remember coming in and I'm like, didn't really know what to expect because at that time it wasn't that many brothers.
Right.
You get my point? And so when I first started listening to this, when I first started going to class, I'm sitting there like, okay, I hear them, but I still had a foot in the streets. You get my point?
Right.
So I was coming to class, but I was still going to hang out.
Right.
You get my point?
Absolutely.
And one day, he was Officer Quam at the time. He's Captain Quam now, but he was Officer Quam at the time. He had did a class, man, and in so many words, he was saying, listen, man, you got to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna serve the Lord, or you gonna be in the world. Which one you gonna do?
Right.
And it was all, and I'm like, damn, he must know what I'm doing, type shit. Cause a nigga literally was serving the Lord on the day of class, but the other days, you know what I'm saying? I was still hanging out. I was still ready for the shit. You get my point? And it was after that class, I'm like, damn, you know what, man? I don't want to play with this shit. You know what I mean? And I remember trying to hang out after that and feeling so awkward and so out of place. Right. Where it's like, okay, you know what? Let me stop playing it. Let me fully entrench myself in this work and in this truth. Because the thing about it is, like you so eloquently put it, if you're not in the truth, you know what I'm saying, you're dead. Right. And when you look at the lifestyle that you was living, whether you was gang banging, whether you was a stick up kid, whether you was out there serving that weight, whatever you was doing, it was a death sentence. Right. And when I say death sentence, I don't mean just a literal death. Going to jail and getting 50 years is death. Right. You get my point? Getting shot and being paralyzed from the waist down is death. That's right. You understand? Having somebody run up in your mama house because they know that's where you keep your stash at, and having your mama, your girl, and your kids tied up and beat within the inch of their lives, and you come home and you see them all taped up in some chairs and shit like that. You get my point? That's death. Right. You get what I'm saying? And when you living outside of these walls, those are the kind of things, you understand, that could be in front of you. You get my point? Or it could be even worse. You know what I'm saying? You can fuck around and still be, you know what I'm saying, chasing these hoes and shit like that, and fuck around and get burnt and your dick finna fall off.
Yeah, right.
You get what I'm saying? And I mean, it just goes down like that. You know, I ain't trying to be overly graphic, but facts is facts. And this is the world that you live in when you're not in here. Right. You get my point? But once you come in here, man, you clean all that up. Your desire to chase hoes go away. Now, instead of looking at her like what's happening, you looking at her like, damn, you need to put some clothes on. You get my point? Now, when you see a woman, now in your mind, is this someone I can spend the rest of my life with?
Right.
That's how you look at a woman when you see her now. You get my point? When you see a brother, whether you know him or not, you know that's your brother. So instead of trying to size him up and trying to figure out what he's working with, now it's like, man, that's a brother, man. He out here destroyed. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm not finna press him like that. Instead of me, hey my nigga, where you from? Hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, good to see you. Right. He gonna look at what's wrong with him? Not knowing you just in a different spirit. Right. And that's what being in the truth does for you.
Like if I could too,
come on with it.
Like the scriptures say that the Most High would set up a little sanctuary.
Man, 100.
This is that place, man. Like this is that place. This place is that sanctuary. Right. From outside of those doors, right, is hell. But inside here we have heaven. This is the kingdom of heaven right here in these doors. Man, that's an excellent. This brother is the kingdom of heaven. I'm the kingdom of heaven. That sister, you, we are all the kingdom of heaven. So when we come together, like this Passover is coming up, it's a lot. That's the kingdom of heaven. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the point. Like this is that little sanctuary that the Most High set up. Right. This is that small sanctuary where, you know, there's big cathedrals of Christian churches and all these places where whoredom is being done. I mean, innumerably. Right? Right. But in here, none of that happens. In here, you're safe. And so, being able to come in here is absolutely a blessing from the Most High. And so, just like I ain't, you know, just to build off of what you were saying, that's this place, and it ain't no other place like it. So, you know, even just to build off of what I was saying earlier about coming into the truth, like, once again, outside of those doors is death. But being able to come in here and be with my brothers, this is life. That's why Moses said, listen, I set before you this day, life and death. Choose life. And choosing life is keeping the commandments. Choosing life is, you know, having brotherhood with your brothers. And like you said, walking past brothers on the street and not thinking about killing them because they stepped on your shoe. Right. It's all right, brother. You get what I'm saying? It's all right, brother. You know, hey man, shalom. You get what I'm saying? Being able to forgive your brother and stuff like that. So point being, you know, once again, I don't want to be too long-winded, but you absolutely are correct when you say that.
No, 100. Nah, all good. But here's my next question for you, right? Mm-hmm. How has your relationship changed with your family? When I say your family, I you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like across the board, from your wife and kids, you know what I'm saying, to your brothers, your mother, whoever the case may be. How's your life changed? How was it before coming into the truth, and how has it been since coming into the truth? Okay, most excellent question. So I'll start off with my rib and my immediate family, right, with my kids, right? So before I came into the truth, I wasn't a man to be respected. Okay. As far as I was slimy, I was a liar, you get what I'm saying? I did things to make people
not respect me because I was a terrible person. Like outside of this truth, that's really what you are. You're not keeping the law. You're a liar. You're a thief. You know, all of these things. That's not a man to be respected. Even in the world, nobody respects a thief. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have that respect in my household, right? But of course, when I came into the truth and I stopped doing those things, I put away those childish things. Now, once again, like I said, I got my house in order. Now, that's the immediate family, right? But you go into, you know, your mom, your pops, you know what I'm saying? That's when it starts to get, you know, gets a little hazy, because what ends up happening is, you know, I like to pull this scripture a lot too, when Christ said that I'm here to cause division.
Right.
And so when I started following Christ in the ISUPK, I used to get into battles. Like I was I shouldn't have done this, right? Because you know, young men, troopers, they're not supposed to teach, right? But I was getting into battles with my mom, my pops, all of these people, and you know, I literally had my dad, you know, kick me out of his house. Like, you got to get up out of here. You're gonna be talking, and you know, we don't say nothing terrible, right? But we just say what's in the Bible. So some people perceive it as terrible. So I've been kicked out of my pop's house. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the same relationship that I had before. Why? Because I was doing, you know, what they wanted me to do. Right. You know, the whole spirit of Christianity, which is basically live and let live. Right. Do whatever you want to do, and everything's okay. Right. Once I started serving the Lord in the ISUPK, and I had restrictions. I don't come around for Christmas no more, which was a big thing for them. You know what I'm saying? Christmas, Thanksgiving, I'm not coming around for those meals no more and those family gatherings. So to them, it looks like F you. Right. You know what I'm saying? It looks like I'm saying F you, nah, you know, damn y'all, I don't love y'all no more, whatever the case, right? And so, of course, in turn, they like F me. Right. So because that's the case, that relationship, you know, isn't really all the way there anymore. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Even with you know, my brothers. You get what I'm saying? When I start to tell them about the truth and stuff like that, you know, especially, you know, I got one Christian brother that's an absolute Christian. You know what I'm saying? An absolute Christian. And listen, man, he didn't like when I started talking about that Christ was black. You know what I'm saying? He's not a white boy. He's not Caesar Borgia. You get what I'm saying? And white people going into slavery. I mean, that's gonna happen. It's in the Bible. Right. But when I proved it to him, he was like, "Well, hey, listen, man. I don't think we should talk." And this is literally what happened. I don't think we should talk about this anymore. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, and that's what happens. Like, you start to separate from your family. So that's what happened. That's basically how that's been, right? Kind of start to separate from them. But if I could, once again, not to be too long-winded, but your immediate family, when you start to incorporate what you learn in the truth to your immediate family, to your wife, to your children, it can go one of two ways, right? They can hate you or they can love you. I gained respect from my rib by following the truth. I gained respect from my children from following the truth. So you got to do that thing, and it's going to turn out one of two ways. For me, I was just, you know, I was blessed, right? But so it's like it.
No. Listen, man. Once again, it's funny because our stories are like very similar. Right. You understand when it comes to the family. You know, that's how my family. It took them a while because they initially took it on some, you know, oh, he ain't fucking with us, but he think he better than us type shit. Right. And all I did was simply put it to him like this. I said, y'all only want to kick it with each other when the white man tells y'all that y'all should kick it with each other. Right. I said, y'all realize that y'all only hit me up when the holiday is coming up or when somebody's birthday coming up? Right. I said, how come we just can't kick it on the strength? See what I'm saying? If it was all about love and we family and all these kind of things, then shit, why can't we just get down on a random Saturday? Right. You get my point? Or okay, let's just take so-called 4th of July weekend, for example, right? If 4th of July is on a Sunday, more times than not, everybody's off on that Saturday, more times than not. So why we just can't get down on that Saturday? You see what I'm saying? I ain't even saying we got a barbecue up. Why we can't, you know what I'm saying, go to a pool hall or something like that? Why we can't, you know what I'm saying, go function? And I always got a lot of pushback. Right. You know what I'm saying? I would get a lot of, you know what I'm saying, resistance on that. You know what I mean? And so, you know, and now they respect it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? They don't hit me up as much because they respect the game. You get my point? But it took a while. But the thing about it is though, in the beginning, it did bother me. I ain't even gonna front it like, damn, man, like, cause I really, you know what I'm saying, fuck with my family.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But as I started to step back and dig deeper into this truth, I started to realize, like, well, damn, we really don't fuck with each other like that because, again, outside the holidays, we ain't really kicking it like that.
Right.
And so when I started to look at it like that, and then I remember when Christ said, I'm paraphrasing, when Christ said, who is my mother and who is my brother? And he pointed to the disciples. He said, those that do the will of my Father, that is my brother and my brothers. Paraphrasing. Y'all get the point, though. So as I started to develop that mentality, it started turning into, man, listen, man, if you want to kick it with me, you know where I'm at. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm about. And if you can't get what I'm with, that's cool. But don't expect me to get what you get with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be over here, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna compromise myself with this truth for nothing or nobody.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality that you have to have when you come into this truth, man. When we say life is about war, you understand? We're not just talking about physical war because it can go there, and it just might go there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's more so that psychological war that you have to prepare yourself for. Whether it's your wife, whether it's your husband, if you're a sister, you get my point. It could be your mother, it could be your brother. You just never know where the opposition is going to come from. But trust and believe is going to come. And what's so crazy about what this brother said was something that I've heard many times before. You get more love from your so-called peers and so-called family members when you that evil, wicked nigga than you do for when you're a righteous nigga. Think about how sick and twisted we have to be as a people when they had more love for me knowing that I was gangbanging.
Right.
Knowing that more time than not, if I came to a function, knowing more time than not, I had something on me that I shouldn't have had on me because it wasn't legal in the first goddamn place.
Right.
But because they knew who I was, they knew what I was about, they just accepted it. And they knew what it was. You get my point? But they accepted me less when I started to grow my hair out and grow the beard.
Right.
And it's like, well, damn, wait a minute. You like me more as this nigga
right.
versus this nigga? Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
It's like if I could.
Yeah, come
if
on
I
with
could. Like, what you said is so heavy because they would rather you be a wicked nigga in the world than be a righteous brother in the truth. Like, you know how many brothers deal with, how many brothers battle their family over pork?
Right.
You mad because I don't eat pork.
Right.
Like, and that's like I've heard about stories about brothers going over to their mommy house or, you know what I'm saying, or to their auntie house or whatever, right? And they sit down and eat and they tell their auntie or their mom Dukes that, listen, I don't eat ham or whatever the case, right? And I've heard about stories about brothers being lied to by their mom.
Oh, wow.
Like, basically, like, no, this is just turkey. Like literally, that's happened. Like, that shows you the mindset of our people.
Right.
And so, when you say that I don't eat pork no more. I don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. I don't get high no more. I don't do those things. For some reason, to them, you're the bad guy now.
Right.
When before this truth, I was really the bad guy.
Right.
I was the one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was the one getting down in these streets.
Right.
I was a terrible person. I was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But now that I stopped doing those things, I stopped selling drugs, doing drugs, I stopped getting high, I stopped, eating these things that the Most High told me not to eat. Now I'm the bad guy. So it's heavy that you brought that out. Like, it's extremely heavy that you brought that out because, like you said, a lot of brothers have the same experience. I don't know why anybody would be mad at a brother for not eating pork. I mean, goddamn, what if I'm on a diet?
Right.
Like, what if I got high blood pressure? I don't want to eat pork no more. You're going to be mad at me.
Right.
It's a lot. But, of course, they wouldn't be mad at you if it was just a diet because it's just a diet. But when you serving the Lord, then that's when it becomes a problem. It's a lot.
And that just more proof how destructive and evil Christianity is. Right. You know what I mean? Because Christianity gives you an evil, wicked mindset. You get my point? Sorry, answer this for me. So my next question is, right, you know what I mean, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I'm gonna ask this only because of brothers in a similar position that you're in has dealt with. So I'm gonna ask you this, right? How has it been, and how much have you had to defend yourself because of the accusations of you being a white boy, or you can't be a nigga because you too light skinned, or what you really about? Like how has that been? How has that battle been? And what gives you the strength to continue to for lack of a better word, like, you know what I'm saying, shut the naysayers up, you know what I mean? Like how do you deal with that?
So that definitely is something that happens a lot. When we out passing out flyers, you get what I'm saying? When we just talking to brothers and sisters, like, listen, I tell you, listen, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the children of Israel. And they look at me like, well, what are you? Right? We say the white man is the devil. They look at you, they look at me like, well, what are you? Right? So that happens all the time. Listen, if I could, my pops has even called me a white boy. And my father is a black man.
Right.
Dark. You know what I'm saying? Darker than his brother. You know what I'm saying? But he looked at me because I start talking about, and me saying that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, it invokes a demon in people.
Right.
It makes people angry because why? Because people love white people.
Right.
Black people love white people because of the indoctrination that we've succumbed to. So that's something that happens all of the time, right? The way that I deal with it, me personally, I'm not insecure. I just brought it out in the Sabbath class. Insecurity is for lack of a better term, I'll just say for punks. You know, y'all, absolutely. That's what I wanted to say.
Right.
So insecurity is not something that a real man has.
Right.
A real man is secure, and a real man stands on what he believes in. I know I'm black because the scriptures say that I'm black.
Right.
Right? Numbers 1:18 says that we determine our lineage by the house of our father.
Damn right.
So listen, man, I don't know what to tell anybody. If you don't believe me, that's fine. I'm not the type of person, I don't stake my life on other people's beliefs, right? Like that's me, right? And I wasn't always like that. I learned that actually from General Muhammad. I learned that from General Muhammad, man, because he taught me by watching his classes that staking your life on other people's beliefs cause you to be a leaf in the wind. And you just do whatever people want you to do. Right? So me personally, listen, man, you say I'm white, okay, whatever. I mean, listen, it's not a big deal for your opinion doesn't matter to me like that.
Right.
The Bible is the authority in all situations. And that's what I stake my life on. My entire life is staked on the scriptures. My entire life. So if the scriptures say I'm a nigga, man.
Right.
That's simple, right? It's dark-skinned brothers, it's light-skinned brothers. There's some brothers that look white. You get what I'm saying? But regardless, color doesn't matter. Colorism is something that happens, you know. Colorism is something that white people have pushed on slaves. Right. But as for me, in my house, we follow what the scriptures say.
Damn right.
The scriptures say that you are the seed of your father. I mean, so long story short, yeah, that doesn't really affect me. It happens a lot. People, you know, people call me a white boy, this, then the third.
Yeah.
People can call me white boy my whole life. I've also gotten into a lot of fights.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But point being is, it's not, you know, I'm a white boy, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, listen, man. I asked that question. I did an interview. I did a similar interview like this with an offside rock out there in Las Vegas, man. Shout out to them brothers out there, man. Excellent brothers out there, man. That brother, that's a soldier. You know what I'm saying, for the Most High, for sure. Absolutely. And it's so funny, man, because I look at that brother, right, and if just based on the surface, you would think he was a white boy. Once you check that brother's spirit out, you understand? You see the zeal on that brother walks around with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, that this is a nigga. You get my point? But the thing about it is, though, what's so crazy about it is, though, like, you know, I've met his father and his grandfather. You understand? And for whatever my name and reputation is worth, I would put that on the line to defend that brother's lineage. You understand? And neither one of them look like him, though. You get my boy? Him and his father look like, but I'm talking about as far as complexion wise. You get what I'm saying? And so I said that to say, we got to get out of this colorism mentality. Like the brother said, you know what I'm saying? That was something that the slave master pushed on us, and that's the same thing that the slave master is pushing on us today. You get what I'm saying? People, and then another thing that we got to get out of is, too, we got to stop being a respecter of persons. You understand? Meaning what? Society will look at him as a white boy, but will accept Bob Martin as a nigga. You get my point? Will accept Faith Evans as a nigga. You understand? Will accept Tia and Tamara as niggas. You get my point? Will accept Wale as a nigga. You get my point? One of my favorite rappers of all time, MF Doom. They'll respect him, look at him as a nigga, but he's not. You get what I'm saying? So a person's skin complexion does not determine who they are, and we got to get out of that mindset. You get what I'm saying? But as long as we continue to follow the ways of the oppressor, we're going to continue to have the mentality of the oppressor.
Right.
You understand? Did you have something that you want to add to that?
No, you had a no. That's heavy that you brought that out too. Like, you know, you look at skin tone. Like, for instance, Frederick Douglass is, you know, considered a black activist.
That's an excellent.
He's
example.
considered a black activist for black people.
Right.
But his father was a white slave owner.
Perfect example.
So, and this is the thing. People in the world, you know, people in the world don't really understand. People say in the world that they understand spirituality. They say they understand the spirit. They understand science. You know, a lot of these commission, you know, scientists. They say they understand science, right? But the seed of a man is what makes you what you are. Remember, remember, a woman carries the egg.
Right.
But a man fertilizes that egg and plants that seed in that egg.
Right.
Right? So it doesn't matter, once again, it doesn't matter what your mother is. Your mother can be, you know, the darkest black there is, but if your father's a white man, you're a white boy. Or a white girl or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, point being is, like you said, and like we've been saying since 1969, colorism is a plague. Right. And it's gotta stop. Right. Because just like how you would call me, like I said, somebody might call me a white boy, but then go into Africa and call a Liberian, you know, his brother.
100.
You know what I'm saying? But these people hate you. Arabs are dark skinned too, but them your brothers too. Right. This is the point. And like you brought it out, colorism is absolutely a plague on black people, and we got to stop it.
100.
It's that simple.
100. Final question. You know what I mean? I didn't take up enough of this brother's time, man. Yo, we finna get our function on. I'm out here in Arizona doing this ISUPK Las Vegas Boots on the Ground series, man. Coming to y'all from Arizona. You understand? Final question for this brother is this, right? What would you say to someone who might catch this tape on YouTube or catch this tape on Facebook, right? Because they searching for their identity. You know what I mean? They've been in the Christian church their whole life, and they're coming to the realization that the Christian church is a whorehouse. Right. You know what I mean? That the Christian church is the house of Satan. Right. You get my point? Or they just in the world, man, and they live in a wicked, disgusting life, and they tired of living that way. You understand? What would you say to that brother or even that sister who might come across this tape on Facebook or YouTube? What would you say to them?
I would say to a brother or a sister that might come across this tape, the same thing that Moses said to the children of Israel: choose life and live. Listen, man, we have set before you life and death. There's a way that you can be a dead man walking. And listen, if you're watching this tape, you know that you're a dead man walking if you're not in this truth. Choose life. Coming into the ISUPK is you choosing life.
Right.
And listen, I'm the type of brother that I had to find out. I found out the hard way, right? I found out the hard way that anything that I've tried outside of this has always failed.
Right. No,
what I would tell a brother or a sister is stop listening to the one person that's failed you your entire life, and that's you. That's yourself.
Man,
listen to us. That's all I got to say.
Nah, that's 100, man. And listen, what you said, everything that you said, man, was 100 on point. You get my point. And the thing about it is that that's something that we all have to be willing to do. We have to, at some point, man, we have to stop looking in the mirror and admit we're wrong. Right. We don't know everything. Right. You know what I'm saying? There has to be something wrong with what I've been doing because what I've done my whole life has equal to this. Right. You get what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, man. Coming into the truth will not make you a millionaire. You get my point? It will not just make all your problems just go away overnight. You understand? But what I will tell you is this: serving the Lord will do more for you on the right hand side, you understand, than you serving yourself will ever destroy. You get my point? There's a lot of brothers and sisters out there who's gonna see this tape and say, nigga, I've been eating pork my whole life, there ain't nothing wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? And then 2 weeks later, fuck around and die of a heart attack. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or have a stroke because his blood pressure's too high. You get my point? Or go to the doctor because he's having a hard time breathing, come to find out, you know what I'm saying, he's diabetic. You know what I'm saying? From all the shrimp or whatever he's eating. You get my point? Or, you know, a brother might go to the doctor because he's been sleeping with prostitutes his whole life. And he wake up and trying to figure out why his rod is green. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's going to go to the doctor and find out, well, hey, listen, man, you know, and that's just what it is. Right. You get my point? Life outside these walls is hell. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way to put it. You know what I'm saying? Coming in here, you know what I'm saying? Life is still gonna be hell. You know what I'm saying? Because we're still under the boot figuratively, and in some cases, unfortunately, literally, of our oppressor.
Right.
But being in here will give you the tools that you need to navigate through this captivity and never be under the literal boot of the so-called white man. You might still be up under his oppression figuratively because of the slavery, because of the bills, because of the gas prices and the food and things like that. You get what I'm saying? But you won't be up under the law of the so-called white man because the laws of the Most High, you understand, will teach you how to be that righteous man or that righteous woman. You understand, and you'll be that example for the next man, for the next woman. Right. Get my point? So, with that being said, man, listen, man, stop sitting on the sidelines, man. It's a lot of cheerleaders out there, man. Right. A lot of y'all watching from afar. You know what I'm saying? Lace up your boots. You know what I'm saying? And get up in the Lord's army, man. Because outside of that, man, is death. You get my point? And with that, this is ISUBK Las Vegas, man, coming to y'all from Arizona. You understand? Preaching Officer Shabal with my main man, you know what I'm saying? Preaching Officer Iraq. And with that, I call the brother Iraq. Like, it looks so much alike.
All my light-skinned brothers are gonna say,
hey, all that. And he's talking about color. Hey, nah, it's so funny now because Iraq, now keep that shit cool, man. It's funny because Iraq calls him, you know what I'm saying, Team Light Skin. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They like, you know what I'm saying, twin brothers from the other fathers and shit. Because we were saying the mothers of the father, you know what I'm saying? So I really thought when I looked over real quick that I was talking to Iraq because they got that same spirit, they act just alike.
Hey, what's that?
And it's funny because we got to keep them brothers separated because when they come together, man, they, you know what I'm saying, they be beef with the rest of them. You understand? It's like, you know, dark skin shit. You understand? Like, I'm joking, man, but in all seriousness, man, you know what I'm saying, this ISUBK Las Vegas Boots on the Ground series from Arizona, you understand? Preaching Officer Shabal or Preaching Officer Paraqs. Got it right this time. You understand? With that, shalom.
Shalom.